All right. So the third habit that I'm going to share with you is kind of a no-brainer, but guess what? It's not always, we don't always follow this practice, and it is to keep a portion of everything you earn. In other words, always pay yourself first, okay? Remember, your end goal here is to become financially free, financially independent. And to get there, you must get in the practice of saving what you have coming in the door. So um, there's a statistic here, it goes right here. It says 54% of Americans age 45 to 54 have zero savings. That is alarming. But the reason for it is that sometimes it goes back to keeping up with the Joneses. Sometimes we try to live a lifestyle that is beyond our means, and it's nice when we can, have friends and family come over. But at some point, we need to start saving. Okay, we need to start building our nest egg. So there's all different kinds of ways you can do that. I do want to give an analogy here of the reason why most people don't have much in their savings. And really, it's because most people don't have a plan, with their money. So what happens here, as you can see in the illustration, the sand, the small particles of sand that you see really represent, the spending, just the random spending that we do once our paycheck comes in. Then the next middle jar that you see here is really our necessities. At some point, we get our necessities in. We pay our rent, we do our light bill, pay our light bill, electricity bill, and then if there's anything left over, we try to fit it in, but we typically can't, which just brings us to the third jar that you see there. The big rocks that you see that are barely getting in and really aren't in the jar are the extra savings that we are trying to get in there, but really don't make it in the jar. The wealthy people do it differently. With wealthy people, what they do is they get those big things in first. They get that savings right off the bat before they pay for anything. They make sure they pay themselves first. They get those big rocks in. Once they get those big rocks in, then they go to their budget, and they make sure that they're paying their necessities for the roof over their head, the light bill, if someone's going to college, they get the college tuition in there. Then based on what's left over, they're going to get the rest, the incidentals in there, the little things such as, going out to eat, or going to the movies or, paying for Netflix. That comes last after they get those big rocks in. And really what happens over time from doing that and keeping that practice and being disciplined, they get to live like no other. So let's take another look here at some of the things that you can do. One of the best ways that I know to make sure you keep a portion of what you earn is to really automate your savings. And in other words, have your money automatically set aside into a bank account or savings account. And this can be done manually if you're disciplined. I'm not that disciplined. I'll probably, do it right, for 2 months, and then all of a sudden I burn that money at Burger King or something like that. So for me, I have to have that done automatically. I either have the money taken directly out of my bank account and transferred to another account that I can't get my hands on without some type of effort, or I have it just taken directly out of my bank account. Out of my paycheck, straight into a savings account or some kind of investment account. So I recommend that you do automatic, set it and forget it. There's nothing like picking up a statement, a quarterly statement and going, wow, I've got $10,000 in there. Totally forgot I even had that account. That's the best thing in the world. So